everybody. Come on in. Hi, Lanky, Not So Smooth. Thank you for joining. Hey, John. Welcome in. Guys, welcome in. Welcome in. Come on in. Hi, Nick. Hola. ¿Cómo estás usted? I'm just going to get some stuff set up here. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, guys. It's week 3. Yeah. This is about fantasy football, everybody. I'm Lauren, better known as Stepmom Lauren, also known as Sick Lauren today. I cannot shake the sickness. Last week it was a stomach bug. This week it's a head cold. So I kind of think those two things were related, but I'm not feeling very well. As you can tell, I kind of sound a little off. So yeah, welcome in, everybody. It's okay. I'll survive. These things, when they happen in Florida, it's like a Florida cold, so it will last for maybe a day or two, and I should be fine by the weekend. I'm not worried about it. I'm hopping up on a whole bunch of Dayquil, and that seems to help, and Zicam up my nose. It's fantastic. But yeah, so I have tissues, so if you guys hear me, like, sniffling, sorry about you. I can't help it. I'm not going to let snot, like, drip down my face. That's disgusting. So, yeah, guys, it's week 3. I'm just going to kind of wing this today because I really didn't get a chance to look at any of the crazy matchups, like, in too much depth. Here's week 3. You can see that right there. This is my little handy-dandy cheat sheet. What's up, Stoney? How you doing? Get Jason some what? I'm not sure if I really want to know the answer to that question. But yeah, so guys, week 3 is going to be a thriller tomorrow. Like, absolute mind-blowing thriller. It's not. I'm kidding. It's the Titans. It's the 1-1 Titans against the 0-2 Dayquil. Okay, yeah. I know. Jason sounds terrible, doesn't he? I don't know. I don't know if it's, like, contagious via a podcast, if he can, like, infect me all the way from Phoenix here in Florida. But maybe I'll just blame him anyway. I mean, he is my boss, so I can blame him, can't I? Whatever. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll let him know if I decide to go that way. But before I get into tomorrow's matchup, guys, again, my name is Stepmom Lauren. You can find me all over social media. Okay, I can. So it's like the digital virus. I get it. I like it. Okay, the intraweb virus. Well, that's what I have. It's kind of gross. But it's okay. I'll survive. I'm Stepmom Lauren. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Stepmom Lauren. This video will be going into YouTube. I had a little bit of trouble with it last week because it's not saving to my camera roll like it's supposed to, so I have to go back and re-record it. Sorry. Hi, Rum Boys present. You were present and accounted for. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I love it. So these videos, I go live every Wednesday. I go live every Friday here on Periscope. Pretty sure you can also see it on Twitter, but I will be uploading these onto YouTube for later viewing if you guys want to see it. Yesterday, I had the privilege of being on the Open Bar podcast with FF Man Bun and J Mike and some really great guests. It was a ton of fun. We had a blast. So if you guys have a chance to do that, go look up Open Bar podcast. They're fantastic. We had a really good time. I did a lot of laughing. I think everybody did, and I think they were a little frightened of me, but that's okay. That's how I roll. I'm not going to apologize for it. That's just who I am, and that's what I do. So anyway, guys, tomorrow we're going to be looking at the Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did just put out a piece on fakepigskin.com. Later this afternoon, I will be updating my website, stepmomlauren.com, to I'm going to have the waiver article on there that I wrote for the fantasy footballers. I know it's a little late, but at least you guys can kind of go in there. If there's some names that are still on your waivers that were missed, maybe you can go pick those guys up, like Raheem Mostert. I love him as a running back, especially in PPR. He seems to be that touchdown darling right now. I love that. I'll put that on my website. I'll also go ahead and put up my Fake Pigskin Thursday night fantasy breakdown. I'll put that on my website as well. That just released a few hours ago, so I haven't had a chance to update my website yet. But yeah, guys, I mean, we're not really looking at anything too insane for Thursday night. Now that I've said that and I've put that out into the atmosphere, watch it be like a crazy fantasy feast of like epic proportions, and like Corey Davis goes off, which is stupid because Corey Davis is not a good football player. If you have him, please hope he blows up so then you can trade him and get a consistent, reliable piece on your roster. So that's really the only thing I'm taking away from that whole tidbit. Hunter Henry should have a really good game. Also, guys, John Helmkamp has a great article. I retweeted it. He breaks down running backs in a very awesome way that I haven't seen yet before. He really dives into these numbers, and if you guys need help with starts and sits, go check out his piece. Again, I retweeted it. You can find him. John, go ahead and put your Twitter handle on there so people know where to find you. On the Twitter machine. Go ahead and throw that in there so people know. And every week he comes out with those guys, and they're usually pretty spot on. So I would recommend reading those, especially if you guys need some running back help, starts and sits, things of that nature. So go ahead and do that. CT Burke, what's up? And there we go, at JCW Helm Camp with a K. Go find him, follow him. Great follow, good friend. So, couple starts of note here for the Titans. I love Delanie Walker in this start. I believe the Jacksonville Jaguars are like 5th worst against the tight end. So, there you go. Plus, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're having a lot of issues on their defense right now. Jalen Ramsey wants a trade. We'll probably know by Fireside Friday if he actually gets traded. And we'll see what happens with that. That should be kind of interesting. We'll see. So, I don't really know. Titans defense, I would suggest starting with Gardner Minshew on the other side of the ball as the starting quarterback. There's still room there for mistakes. There's room there for interceptions, for sacks, all that kind of stuff. So I do kind of like the Titans defense if you aren't one of those lucky few that have the Patriots defense. So let's see, Mr. Burke here. You've got start it, Mark Andrews or Delanie Walker. That's a good question. It's a little early for me today to tell you Mark Andrews over Delanie Walker or each of the other one. Mark Andrews was just downgraded to questionable going into this week. So what I'm saying right now is I do like Delanie Walker. Keep your eye on Mark Andrews though, because if he's on the field, he is a target hog. So I really have trouble sitting Mark Andrews. And this may be one of those times where if you want to start Delanie Walker in your tight end position because I think he's going to feast, you can flex Mark Andrews if you have a flex position that allows for a tight end. And also if that's standard or PPR, that would also help too. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Run Boys, thank you for following John. You'll really, really like his running back breakdowns. They're pretty awesome. But let me double check here with Fantasy Pros and my bosses, the Fantasy Footballers. Again, Stepmom Lauren here. I'm a writer for the Fantasy Footballers. I also contribute to Fake Pigskin, and I also work with the Fantasy Whisperers. I'm on guest podcasts a lot. You can find my work on my website. But let's go ahead and take a look at that. Mark Andrews versus Delanie Walker this week, which is a very good question. And I love it how you guys always have really hard questions for me. I like that. Okay, so just to give you an idea, in standard, Fantasy Pros is all about Mark Andrews. I agree. That's a tough one, though. So keep your eye on Mark Andrews' health for sure. And let's go ahead and go PPR. Let's see if that changes anything. No, it doesn't change anything at all. So Fantasy Pros, why don't we just go ahead and check the Fantasy Footballers too, just to be on the safe side. I mean, Mark Andrews is basically like the next Travis Kelce right now. It is really hard to get around his productivity. But that's awesome for you to have 2 very good tight ends. That's a not necessarily a bad place to be. So let's go ahead and see what. All right, Fantasy Footballers agree too. So Mark Andrews over Delanie Walker, but keep your eyeballs out for his injury. But again, I don't really know if you can go wrong. If he's on the field, he's going to get targets, especially because they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs and their defense is like Swiss cheese. And Run Boys agrees. Start Andrews. Arsenal, how you doing? Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. Delanie or Waller, that's a good one too. I worry about Darren Waller just a hair, only because I worry about Derek Carr. But if he can still, be usable and get the ball to Waller, I like it. Darren Waller over Delanie Walker. Let's just double check what these guys have to say. My bosses, the Fantasy Footballers, let's check with them too. This is going to be in PPR. And thank you guys for being patient. I appreciate it. And Nope, we don't want that one at all. We want to do a new one. Hang on. It's thinking. My computer likes to be slow at this time in the afternoon. All right, so Darren Waller again over Delaney Walker. So guys, if you're in one of those positions where you're either streaming a tight end or you don't have a good tight end, this is the kind of position where you want to start Delaney Walker, I think. By the way, he also has finished tight end 4 on the season after week 2, because we're going into week 3, which is pretty cool. So that's in standard and PPR. And Run Boys agrees with the 2 tight end strategy, especially when you have Mark Andrews. I love that. And CT Burke, you're going to double up on TE. Might as well. Stoney, Andrews, Waller, Walker. All 3 great. Love them. And Alex, cheers. Cheers to you too. And then Arsenal, you were offered Michael Thomas for David Montgomery and DK Metcalf. That's actually a really good question. Okay, this is going to depend, Arsenal, how much you believe in Teddy Bridgewater. This is going to be hard because I believe this person who's offering you this trade wants to capitalize on your panic freak out. I don't think Sean Payton's a dummy. I think he's going to be getting the ball into the hands of his moneymakers, which is Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas. Now, does their value take a hit? Yes, because it's not Drew Brees. And Teddy Bridgewater, granted, he was supposed to be a starter in the Vikings, injury concerns. He's not green around the gills, so I think he does have enough talent to get him the ball. So really that's going to be based on your roster. Do you really need to have a wide receiver like Michael Thomas, and can you afford to give up someone like David Montgomery and DK Metcalf? I think David Montgomery is going to be seeing increased volume as the weeks progress, and DK Metcalf has been proven, at least the last 2 weeks, that he's going to be involved in that offense as well. So this is going to be based on your roster construction. Everyone else who's in the chat with me here, you let him know. Let Arsenal 033. What do you think about that trade offer? That's my opinion on it. I know, not very helpful. Sorry. So let's see. And then, hey Randy, how you doing? Sorry, I know you already asked, but would I trade Keenan Allen? Depends on what for. And it also depends on who else you have at wide receiver. So that's kind of an open-ended question. If you're gonna trade Keenan, make sure you're getting someone really good for him, and then you also have other wide receivers that can replace him on your roster, obviously. So Alex, what's my take on Mason Rudolph going forward? Very interesting. When it comes to fantasy football, curious. I think all those positions get downgraded just a hair, unfortunately. But real football, I'm very excited to see what Mason Rudolph can do. He injected some life into that Steelers team once Big Ben went down. Wow, I'm having lots of trouble speaking. Like I said, guys, I can barely hear. I'm all stuffed up and sick. So sorry if I sound crazy. But you guys will deal with it because you're my friends, so you'll figure it out. But I do like Mason Rudolph. Funny story. I'm in a league with Mark Drumheller, their crew at Sports Outliers, and my quarterback situation is awful. So I am in a position where I have Cam Newton and Sam Darnold. Yeah, hear the crickets? It's awful. So I actually picked up Mason Rudolph, and I am going to start him mostly because I have no choice, because it's a super flex. So there's an option there, but I have to have at least one quarterback, and that really stinks because there's very few on the wire because it is a super flex league. So I am going to be starting Mason Rudolph out of necessity. I will let you know how it goes. Fantasy should be interesting. I think in real life it should be pretty awesome. I am excited to see what he's going to bring into that offense. Another thing, too, to keep in mind, guys, the Steelers made this trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick. I understand a lot of people think it's strange. I think it's brilliant, and I like this because it gives Mason Rudolph a huge vote of confidence from Mike Tomlin and from management in the Steelers, because they're not saving a first-round draft pick to go after a quarterback. So just keep that in mind. They like Mason Rudolph. I don't think he's going to be limited throughout the entire season, but we'll see what he does. I liked him when he came into the game, I'm not going to lie. And then fake version, is that your real name, Carpenter? Sure. Yeah, whatever. Let's see, Randy, would you trade Mike Evans, David Montgomery for Keenan Allen and Matt Breida? That is a hard one because Matt Breida is going to be that workhorse, but Raheem Mostert is the one who is getting the touchdowns, and then Tevin Coleman may still come back. That's a really hard one. Guys, what do you think about this for Randy? Should he trade away Mike Evans and David Montgomery for Keenan Allen and Matt Breida? Let him know what you think. It's at Commando Randall. I'm not quite sure about that one. So Sonia says, take Thomas. Hi, Jan Mania. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, you can call me Mom. Mom, stepmom, whatever. Or just Lauren. Whatever you want. I'm cool with that. And then Scarface, please help you. There's no help for you. I'm kidding. I don't know how to help you. I need help too. It's bad. And then Jan, you dropped Cam for Josh Allen. Good idea. Yeah. I think it is. Josh Allen is in a pretty good offensive situation with his ability to run. He has some downfield weapons like John Brown, which I like, and Cam looked terrible, and that really, really worried me. So if you're in a position where you have to drop Cam to pick up Josh Allen, I don't mind that at all. I really don't. And then Alex also helps that you have Juju, so you came away with the stack. That's nice. Okay. And let's see. And then Jan Mania says no on that one, Randy, if that helps. And then Rum Boys, yeah, Josh Allen is finally coming along. And yeah, Smokey, yep. And then let's see, is the beginning of the end for Cam? Could be. It could be. I think it's a little early to say for sure, but it's trending that way, which is kind of scary. All right, and then CT Burke, still too early on Terry McLaurin, on just the right time to snag him on waivers. It is not too early. Go grab him. If he's available, snag him. He plays 90% or more of the snaps, and he is reliable. He's been a red zone target. I love Terry McLaurin. Pick him up. I picked him up last week, so no, not too early. Pick him up, and if you can, I'd start him. I like it. Who are they playing? Let me double check here. They're playing the Steelers. Yeah, Steelers secondary is pretty garbage. Not a bad idea. Yep. Go get McLaurin. See, Rum Boys agrees. I really like that one too. So guys, let me go ahead. I'm going to look at my fantasy points against here. And we're going to refresh this page. Yeah, I'm in a pickle in some of my leagues for sure, guys. In case anyone's, yeah, same here. Awesome. In case anyone's curious, I'm 1-1 across the board in all 7 of my leagues. Alvin Kamara pooped the bed. That was worried. Should you worry about Mike Evans? Not really. No, don't worry about him yet. It's only week 3. If we're talking week 5, week 6, sure, but I wouldn't worry about it. Hey Dan, welcome in. You thought the Steelers played San Francisco. Who was I talking about? Oh yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong matchup. Hold on. See, I can barely see too. So thank you for correcting me on that. I can barely see. Okay, so the Monday night game against the Bears. Ooh, I still don't mind it because the Bears' biggest weakness on their defense is against wide receivers. So that's something to keep in mind too. And yeah, thank you, Dan. I appreciate you correcting me on that. And then Jan Mania, you made a trade in another league. You traded away Baker and Devontae Adams. Ooh, for Lamar Jackson and Chris Godwin. Okay, I can see where you were going with that one. I hate to get rid of Devontae Adams because he's a fantastic wide receiver, and I think he might finish as the wide receiver 1 in 2019. But I see why you did that, to get rid of the heartbreak that is Baker and go for someone a little bit safer with high upside with Lamar Jackson. And Chris Godwin is the next Larry Fitzgerald under that Bruce Arians offense. So all of that wasn't just hype in the offseason. So I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. If you have a chance to get Lamar Jackson, I might swing for it. And then, let's see. Yeah, I know, losing Adams, that's hard. But again, we don't know what Jan Mania has on the other wide receiving core. We don't know. There could be other wide receiver 1s. Who knows? So, I mean, again, getting Lamar Jackson, I don't know. I mean, I can see it both ways. If I were in your position, Jan Mania, if your league scores really high for quarterbacks, especially rushing quarterbacks, I don't mind that at all. It does suck to lose Devontae Adams, though, but if that's the price you had to pay and you're willing to pay it to get Lamar Jackson, then that's your call. So, and then Amari Cooper is your other wide receiver. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's your downfield threat. Losing Devontae Adams is hard. That is really hard. I think I would have liked it better if it were a different wide receiver 1 than Devontae Adams, but again, still, hard to fault your logic. I think I see where you were going with that trade. So just hope Lamar Jackson keeps it up. But I do think the person you traded with might have snuck one out from underneath you just a little bit, but maybe you can make up for it with the crazy amount of points that Lamar Jackson should be able to keep going moving forward. And then Dan, you have Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. What kind of an RB or wide receiver should you target for Lamar Jackson? You want to go as high as humanly possible. That's my opinion, because especially if Lamar Jackson has another blow up game, see if you can get him for as high a wide receiver as you can possibly get, in my opinion, because that man, that's got to be tough to have Lamar and Pat Mahomes. I like how you want to move him. And then, yeah, so Run Boys agrees for Lamar, sell high. Totally agreed with that. Yeah, you're welcome, Dan. Absolutely. Undead Ted. That's a great name. Welcome. Welcome to Windup Wednesdays. Again, for anyone just joining us, my name is Lauren. You can find me all over social media at Stepmom Lauren. I'm a writer for the Fantasy Footballers. I go live every Wednesday. I also go live every Friday. And even though I am sick, the show must go on. Unless I'm like puking or something, which did happen last week. Then I'm still going to be here and helping you guys. So I know I'm just going to keep, it's only been 20 minutes. Let's do at least another 10. Because I'm going to be here Friday also to help you guys out with your starts and your sits to get you going for the weekend. But this is Wind Up Wednesday. I just wish there was more exciting things to talk about for the Thursday night game. And yeah. And she's been on our show as well as chat. Yes, I have. I do enjoy totally, like, what is it, chat bombing? I like chat bombing when you guys are live and saying obnoxious things and making you laugh. It makes me laugh as well. So I do. The Run Boys are a fantastic network. Follow them, guys. Follow the Run Boys. They're wonderful. Their lives are hilarious. They do hours and hours of play-by-play over the weekends on Sunday. I should say Sunday. It is fun. And sometimes I pop in there on the chat, too, and bring a little bit of Stepmom Lauren in the house. It's good stuff. And, guys, if I miss a question that you throw out there, please don't hesitate to ask it again. If I close the show out, I haven't answered your questions, hit me up on Twitter. I have no problem with that. And, guys, I'm not a know-it-all. Let me rephrase. I am a know-it-all. But if there was something that I don't know, I am either going to crowdsource that to everybody else to help me out. I'm going to look it up on Fantasy Pros. I'm going to look it up with my bosses, the Fantasy Footballers. I'm not just going to spit advice out at you guys without knowing what's going on. So just so you guys know that I'm not one of those people that's just going to be like, oh yeah, start that. I like to have as much information as possible because that's what fantasy football is. It's educated guessing. So then CT Burke, you said, if I'm going to trade Lamar Jackson, try and get chocolate sauce. So true. So true. And I think I know who I'm talking to right now. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I like how I have multiple Run Boys on here right now. I think you're the same one. I don't know. Ty Burke. I think so. If not, sorry. I just called you someone you're not. But hey, try and get chocolate sauce. So that's a little bit of an inside joke, everybody. And I do agree with him. If you're going to trade Lamar Jackson, DeAndre Hopkins. You guys should put a little video out of what we're talking about when we bring up the chocolate sauce with DeAndre Hopkins. Because unless you know who we're talking about and how funny it was at the time when I was on their live stream, it may be going right over your head. It kind of like a you had to be there moment, but it was really funny. And then, John, you said, hey, remember that 4 TD game last year with the 99-yard trot by Henry against the Jags? Yeah. I actually have it in my article this week that to start him, but to temper expectations. Because I think the Jags are going to have to work extra hard because of their backup quarterback. They're going to really have to bring it. So I'm not worried about him. He's still going to get you points, and he has that upside of explosiveness. But if he doesn't come right out of the gate and just blow your minds this Thursday, it's okay. He's still going to get you points. I'm not worried about it. Just maybe not as many as you may be hoping for. But John disagrees with me. He thinks he's going to feast. But either way, we both think you should start him. So that's great. I love it. And then you keep swiping the chat up to see questions. Thanks, Run Boys. I appreciate that. Yes, chocolate sauce. Chocolate sauce, DeAndre Hopkins. I like it. And let's see. You're a fan of the Run Boys. I'm not sure what you're not, though. So I missed that part. So sorry if it was anything gross. So let's see. So Stoney's going to now refer to DeAndre Hopkins as nuked chocolate sauce. That is so true. Nuked chocolate sauce. That has to be, like, someone has to make that their fantasy football name. Am I right? Like, that's amazing. That's so amazing. So before I forget, and we're not going to close the show out quite yet. We have about five more minutes or so. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you're rewatching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm trying to get as many people involved because this is a community. I want everybody to help each other out. I want to know what you guys think about your lineups. I want to know your starts and sits. I may need help, and you guys, I need you to help me too. So let's grow this together. Thank you all for liking my page already. If you have, I appreciate it. I am now about 166 followers, I think, which is great because I got my own personalized URL finally, so I don't have to be like, Stepmom Lauren on YouTube, don't Google it, which I have overtaken the other Stepmom Lauren. I have overtaken her with stepmomlauren.com, so that makes me pretty happy that it's not just all straight up pornography. She is still there, a little lower down, but at least I'm on top. That was dirty. Don't take it. Keep it clean here, guys. Keep it clean. So, Alex, who's my best bench player, that I would get in my lineup? Yours is Debo. That's not bad. Denard Robinson is another one I like as well. Debo is one I like as well. Man, that's a really good question. Let me see who I have in my lineup so I'm not missing anybody here. And again, for those of you just joining me, I normally don't sound like I'm got a nose full of water. I'm just really sick, which kind of sucks. Okay, that bench won't help me at all. Let's see, how about this one? Jalen Samuels, guys, go pick him up. If you have not had a chance to pick him up, if he's somehow still free on your waivers, go get him because James Conner is already a little bit banged up, which is no bueno. We don't like to see that. But that does mean a lot of work for Jalen Samuel. And also, he has great chemistry with Mason Rudolph. Another snag you should probably get off the waiver wires if you haven't done so already. To answer your question, Alex, a good bench person to have to see if they blow up, James Washington. As much as I loved Dante Moncrief, that did not age well. He sucks. I'm dropping him in my leagues, which breaks my heart because I really was all about him all offseason. But if you want to pick up a wide receiver now that Big Ben is out for the season, Mason Rudolph and James Washington have a lot of chemistry together. Let's just hope he can actually hang on to the ball. Chris Herndon is another one too, guys. So, tight end landscape is kind of gross. So, I mean, Chris Herndon is on suspension. He's coming back after the bye. He was the second leading receiver on the Jets behind Robbie Anderson. And hopefully Sam Darnold, after he gets done like making out with teenagers and getting mono with an enlarged spleen, hopefully he'll be back and being just fine. And by the way, you can function in life without a dang spleen. Get your ass out there and start playing football, Sam Darnold. This is garbage. But I did kind of like this. Is it Kyle Falk? Is that his name? Or is it Kevin Falk? Luke. That was way off. Luke Falk. I liked him a lot. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. Robbie Anderson actually got a lot of targets. I'm not dropping Robbie Anderson. Am I starting him? Maybe not. But I'm not sure if I'm going to drop him quite yet. I want to see how that goes. You're going to make that your team name now. Nuked chocolate sauce. I love it. Peyton Barber is another good one. Thank you very much, Run Boy. See, what would I do without you guys? This is a community. We're all friends here, and we're just going to, like, make this a family, right? I mean, I'm a stepmom. So that kind of implies I'm not really your mom, but I'm, like, a stepmom. Right? I'll be the cool stepmom, not the evil one. Although I can be evil sometimes. Fantasy football stepmom Lauren taking over. That's right. I am taking over. I hope she's not too mad, so she'll have to deal with it. Which Chiefs wide receiver will go off this week? Well, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be able to answer that with 100% certainty. With that being said, I can give you my best guess. I'm going to guess Denard Robinson. Robinson, is that his first name, Denard? I think it is. Robinson. Yeah. Actually, no. I think it's going to be Mecole Hardman because Robinson already had his turn. So I think it might be Mecole Hardman this week. I don't know. That we just really don't know which one is going to go off. So, I don't know. Put a couple names in a hat and pull one out. That's what I think. Or just see whoever has the most snaps, which I think is Robinson. And then, let's see. Trade OBJ for Gurley and Waller in PPR. I don't hate that. To be completely honest, I do not hate that trade. Sorry, let me get this back up there. CH1_D. Channel 1D. I like it. I don't hate that. So, Jane Mania, yes. Washington, your top secret will be revealed. I'm sorry. I hated James Washington all offseason because I was touting Dante Moncrief. That experiment has failed. Now that Mason Rudolph is in, I think this is going to be James Washington's year. Like I said, if he can have better than a 43% cash percentage, that would help. And then, Stoney, you've been all in on Big Montana, Will Dissly. I know. I was talking to my husband about it. I'm like, dude, Will Dissly, watch it. Just watch. He's going to blow up. I thought it was going to be against the Bengals, who was the worst at allowing touchdowns to tight ends. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was the following week. I was a little early. But, guys, if you're desperate at tight end, why not pick up Will Dissly? Because they've got Chris Carson, they've got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. So right now, Will Dissly is very much involved, and he's there. He's on all the snaps a lot. I don't know his snap percentage, though. I could look that up, but I'm lazy and I'm not going to. So look up his snap percentage. If your guys are desperate and you need someone in deep leagues, Will Dissly's not a bad pickup. I like it. So Rumboy says, Connor, his name's Connor Burke. Thank you. I like it. So Connor Burke, you're going to go to Marcus Robinson again. Yeah, it could be to Marcus Robinson, but then now that you've put it out into the ether, now it's going to be Mecole Hardman. And then now that I say Mecole Hardman, it's going to be Sammy Watkins again. Who the hell knows? It's Patrick Mahomes. He could throw it to, like, I don't know, my Pomeranian could have 3 touchdowns. I'm serious. He probably could. He's like the size of a football, just so you know. But he's very tenacious. And then shout out to @Dynasty_Allie Al. Thanks. You're welcome. I didn't do anything, so I'm just taking all the credit. And then, oh, you know what? How silly of me, John. Travis Kelce. He better blow up. But if we're just talking wide receivers, I think we're going to go from in that perspective. But yeah, Travis Kelce. He better have a blow-up game because I need him so badly. And all of us who took him so early, we might be a little bummed. But hey. Run, boys, it's DeMarcus. What did I say? Denard? I should just call him Robinson. But then I get confused with Allen Robinson. See, this is what Tito's. Yes, I am still drinking and taking cold medicine. Don't judge me. But that's what happens. There's a lot of names in here. And I can, like, barely remember my own name right now. So, thank you, Run Boys. Appreciate you. Oh, again, what would I do without you? So, and then Connor Burke says, wrong. The answer is no Chiefs wide receiver. Because the Ravens are going to lock them all down. Word. That would be pretty epic. But this is Patrick Mahomes. So, if that happens, I'd probably be eating a snow cone in hell. Just so you know. But I like your enthusiasm. Run Boys, Washington and Rudolph have chemistry from Oklahoma State. Yes, they went to school together. They were really good friends in school, too, I believe. And then don't diss the Disley. I know, Alex. I love Will Dissly. Oh, Big Montana. Love that guy. And he's kind of a klutz, too, which I like. Like, he runs into people and he kind of falls over randomly. I don't know if you've ever seen him on the sideline or, like, running into the huddle. But, like, sometimes it's like he has 2 left feet. I don't know. It's funny. But I love that guy. Quiet. Does his job. Balls out. And really puts his heart into it. I love seeing that from guys. That's one of the reasons I love college football so much. So. Don't diss the Disley. Yeah, I know. I agree, man. I love Will Dissly. And then, let's see. My name is Lorna. Yeah. You know what? That's really funny. I don't know if you're actually doing that to me, but I have a neighbor who, like, never can get anybody's names right, and he actually calls me Lorna. I'm like, no, it's Lauren. He's like, okay, Lorna. I'm like, never mind. Whatever. I gave up. Yeah, he's kind of a clumsy dude, but he's good at catching touchdowns, so who cares? Who cares if he's clumsy? I sure don't. So, Jen Mania, sorry, back to Herndon. No problem. I love Herndon. I'll talk about Chris Herndon all day long. Would I drop Doyle or Ebron for him? That's a really good question. This may be another touchdown-dependent situation that we had last year. I would still keep Eric Ebron. I don't like either of them, to be honest with you. But if you had to take a stab on that, I would drop Jack Doyle. But that's like by a hair. If that helps any. John would also dump Doyle. Pick him up sooner rather than later if your bench can allow it. I understand that he's on a bye week, but people are going to start remembering him. And you don't want to miss out on that train, especially if you're desperate and you need a good tight end, because I think Chris Herndon's going to come up big, especially for a third stringer quarterback who's going to need as much help as humanly possible. And guys, Falk was not afraid to throw the ball. I loved it. So just real quick, guys, too, I know I was going to talk about injuries, and I really haven't had a chance to discuss all of them, but we have a lot of huge injuries that are going on right now. So if I forget any, you guys let me know. And DJ Be Right, you be right. I like it. Someone offering you Dak Prescott, Josh Jacobs, and Robert Woods for Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, and Jake Brisket. Wow. Holy moly. That is hard. Oh my gosh, DJ Be Right. You are right. That is hard. Help is correct. Okay, guys, I'm going to crowdsource this out to you guys, but I want a piece of that Cowboys offense. So if I get Dak and Josh Jacobs, who has like I can't say no competition because they did run Jalen Richard quite a bit, and Robert Woods, who's on the field the most out of those 3 wide receivers, for Devontae Adams, Derrick Henry, and Jacoby Brissett. Man, I don't know. That is so hard. What do you guys think? Because I I could see it both ways. That's really hard. I'm sorry, DJ. Be right. I'm being wrong here. I don't know what to tell you on that one. I would have to like really think long and hard and like meditate on that one. So you guys help him out. Let him know what you think too. Hit him up on Twitter. That's at DJBERAGHT. You let him know what you think. And then DJ Be Right, tweet me at Stepmom Lauren and you let me know what you did. And then keep me informed on how your team's doing. I want to see how that works out. And then, yeah, okay, so John says don't do it. Connor Burke says you'd take it. And then Connor Burke wants to know about your wide receiver situation. So you go ahead and let them all know, too, that so we can take a look at your roster. Jan wants to take it. Brandon says take it. And there we go. DJ Be Right. He wouldn't. So here we go. That 50-50 thing is kind of tough. So this may be a decision for you to be able to make on your own. Yeah, be a slice of that Cowboys offense. I understand. It's like having your cake and eating it too. It's pretty fantastic, especially if you get another one too off the waivers, which is interesting. Michael Gallup is hurt, so Smith is someone you should pick up. Again, my cold brain with Tito's and cold medicine does not remember his first name. Devin Smith, is that who it is? Run boys, help me out here. He could be on the waivers. Pick him up. I really like him this week. Jalen Samuels, because Connor is hurt. James Conner's hurt. Guys, I'm really going to be interested to see how these offenses are working. Like the Jags without Nick Foles. Let's see how Gardner Minshew keeps going. The Steelers without Big Ben and Teddy Bridgewater on the New Orleans Saints. Guys, don't freak out about Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas yet. Don't freak out yet. Again, Teddy Bridgewater, I know he's not Drew Brees. He's not anywhere near Drew Brees, but he also is not like Blake Bortles. So I think he's going to be okay. Sean Payton's going to get it into the hands of his best wide receiver and his number one running back. So I'm not as worried, I think, as other people are. Also, with Andrew Luck retiring, we got this Jake Brisket. That's Jacoby Brissett. Look how that offense is doing. It's not doing terrible. So it's pretty interesting. So, John, you're a hard fan on all things Steelers and Saints until we see it. I'm a hold. I'm not a fade. I'm a hold. I want to hold it and see. I'm not going to fire sell. I'm not going to trade away these players at a ridiculously low value and get garbage for them. I want to see how they do. And if you don't want to deal with the headache of those guys, wait till they blow up and trade them for the highest possible value that you can. That's what I would do. And Alex, you do like the brisket. I like the brisket too. Cooking a brisket is a pain in the ass because it takes forever. But when you have a pellet Traeger grill like I do, hashtag not a sponsor, wish it was, it's a lot easier. And then John says, no, you're not trading them out. That's good. I wouldn't either. Hold them and just kind of see. And then Connor, you'd stay away from Bridgewater. I'm not saying to draft Bridgewater. I'm actually just looking at his weapons. I don't know if I made it sound like I was doing that. Don't do that. I lied. I have to in one league. Yeah, I have Mason Rudolph, Gardner Minshew, and Teddy Bridgewater. Because I have also Cam Newton and Sam Darnold. Yeah, I'm losing in that league. Actually, I'm 1-1 in that league, but it's not looking good. Not looking good. And in that league is for, like I said, Sports Outliers, and I'm supposed to be their fantasy expert, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this league is looking at me like, this girl thinks she knows about fantasy football, her team sucks. But I got unlucky, unfortunately, so that's why I need Travis Kelce big time in that league. And then tempering expectations, I agree, for the Saints and the Steelers for sure. Jan Mania, LOL. I LOL a lot. Thank you for LOLing with me. And LOLing every single time, guys. I so appreciate every single person that's in here, whether you're new, whether you come and join me every Wednesday and Friday. I love seeing your smiling avatars, if that makes sense. But I love seeing your names. I love interacting with you. I feel like we're already like family and friends. So I absolutely love it. If you guys spot any hashtag Wookiee of the Weeks, let me know. We kind of forgot about that. So any like furry people that were fantasy relevant, hit me up. Hashtag Wookiee of the Week. And of course, spell Wookiee right, because apparently I can't. So Wookiee of the Week, we'll try to get that one going too again, Jane Media. And then why stepmom capture moments, because I am a stepmom. So that would make sense. And thank you, Alex. I appreciate you loving the show. Am I worried about Kittle? Dan, I am, but I feel like that's premature panic, worrying about Kittle. I do worry. I know, because I have him. If I didn't have him on my team, I'd be like, nah, relax. But since I have him on my team, I am a little worried. Not worried enough to bench him, not worried enough to trade him. Maybe worried enough to trade him if he blows up. But we'll see. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. It is George Kittle. He's a very, very talented tight end, and there's not a lot of really good tight ends. We'll just see how this offense plays out over the next few weeks. Because where I have Kittle, I also have Mark Andrews. So there's that. So Connor Burke, your top. I'm saying that right. It is Connor Burke, right? Because if it's not, correct me. Because I don't want to be calling you Connor, and you're like, listen, lady, my name's Steve. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? So all right. So CT Burke. Your top 3 pickups are McLaurin, love it. Demarcus Robinson, love it. And Devin Smith. Devin Smith. Is that what I said before? I think I did. I can't remember. Those are excellent top 3 waiver wire pickups. I can't believe I actually got that out, sort of. Wonderful. I love it. And I like them in that order as well. McLaurin might be a little bit tough just because it's against the Bears. But again, the Bears' weakest aspect of their defense is their wide receiver. Defending the wide receiver. Excuse me. Aaron Jones is going to go off this week. I hope so. Who are they playing? Excuse me as I sniffle. I can't even barely read my sheet because my eyes are so gummy. Who do they play? You guys tell me. And, Josh Gordon. I worry about Josh Gordon, guys. If I had Josh Gordon, I would not play him. I would bench him, and then when he has a big game, if he has a big game, get rid of him. I do worry with Antonio Brown in that offense. Belichick and Tom Brady love Julian Edelman. We know he's not going anywhere. James White is heavily involved in the passing game. Last year, he got 123 targets with 87 receptions, and I think he had 9. It was either 9 receiving touchdowns or 7 receiving touchdowns, one of those two. But it doesn't look good for Josh Gordon. He's going to be super boom or bust, so I worry about that. And then, Bingle B6. Is it okay to play Josh Gordon? Like I said, not so sure about that. And then, yes, it's kind of good. Okay, cool. So I'm not calling you the wrong name because I hate it. Like I said, my neighbor calls me Lorna. So now I have to make sure I get names right. And they play the Broncos. Okay, yeah. I can see that. I can see Aaron Jones having a game. I'm just glad the Jamal Williams experiment isn't, still going strong. That'd be awful. Yeah, Alex agrees with a no, Gordon. Okay, guys, so it's been about 40 minutes. I'm going to let y'all go and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Again, you can catch me every Wednesday. I go live anywhere between 3:30 and 4:30. And Dan, you've never cared about AB more. I traded Diggs for him. Yeah. Why not? I mean, he's with Tom Brady. It's kind of hard not to. And John, you're Jones. I get it. Every Wednesday for a weekly, Wind Up Wednesday, so we can wind up, get ready for that weekend. Fridays will be there around the same time for Fireside Friday. See, I don't have my Fireside turned on today because it's not Fireside Friday. So I'm going to have a much better idea of who I like in matchups on Friday. Sorry, I'm sick and I just didn't care today. Sorry, I had to take cold medicine and try not to die while I did simple things around the house because that's what colds do. All right, Connor, everybody, thank you so much again for joining me. Follow me on social media. Hit me up on Twitter, @StepMomLauren. Visit my website, stepmomlauren.com. And you can also rewatch this, or in case anybody misses it, or tell your friends. Find me on YouTube, Stepmom Lauren, of course. And thank you, Dan. I will feel better. Hopefully by Friday, this will be all done. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will either see you on Twitter or I will see you on Friday. Have a good one, guys.